Her question was so much information and education out there for coaches. How do you balance learning without drowning in it? And, I'm particularly interested in your take on this because I know you run a pretty robust internship program through CSP as well. And, I imagine that you have to navigate this situation a lot with young strength coaches.
Yeah, for sure. The information is really accessible. I was actually talking with Matt Blake about this. Matt's our pitching coach with the Yankees, and he was our first pitching coach at CSP. Like it's so much easier now to get access to the information. Like he was rating my bookshelf. Like we started CSP, like Instagram didn't exist. Like there was no TikTok, there was no any of this. Like you went to PubMed if you really wanted to nerd out, or you tried something and you figured out how it was worked. Like YouTube, what it was, it isn't what it was now. Like even Twitter, or now X, was not nearly as built out in terms of a resource for people. So you really had to do it a little bit more old school. And I actually think it was really good because what it forced you to do was spend a lot more time in the trenches trying stuff before you just rolled it out with athletes. I think now it's very easy to like look on your phone and then literally right into a program that month and take it outside. So it's a really hard time to be, a young coach like that. But that's why you seek out mentors. At the end of the day, you lean on people who have done it before, because they're going to teach you not to make the same mistakes that they made. Right. But on top of that, they're going to ask the discerning questions of you. Like, they're going to challenge you. And a good mentor doesn't just tell you how awesome you are and give you opportunities. Like they challenge you when you have what could be a really dumb idea, but they also challenge you when you have a great idea because you need to be able to defend it. So I always say, like, you have to have a rationale for every single thing that you put in a program, the volume you put it in for. And a lot of people just can't do that. So I think the number one thing that you can do if you're a young, enthusiastic person is, find a good mentor who will help, you to kind of separate out the good from the bad. And you just need to get a lot of reps coaching, because you're going to realize there's a lot of stuff out there on social media that when you actually roll it out with a real live human that's in front of you, you're left without an outcome that you really wanted. So that's where I come back to, like, with our internships, to your point, like there's usually one or two interns where you got to pump the brakes and be like, you might have a lot of depth in this very specific portion of the world, but you don't have breadth of knowledge. And we always we see someone who's like, oh, this is a great hip mobility, this is going to fix it. I'm like, well, it's going to take away their low back pain. Well, what happens if they have a giant tumor in their spine? Like, you want to refer that one out. And so I think that's where I think it's just vitally important to have good mentors to stay, very, very humble. Surround yourself with people that challenge you. Like, you built a staff, I have as well, both at the facility and in pro sports. Like, the worst thing you can do is try to replicate yourself. You have to hire people that in some way complement your skill set, and then ask the probing questions that make you reconsider whether what you're doing is a good thing. So I'm spoiled like that. I have a bunch of those people here. I have a bunch of those people in pro ball, and it's really served me well.
Yeah, you mentioned the accessibility of information. I mean, I think back to as an undergrad, I was going to the library, I was finding research journals on the shelves, and then I was spending literally every spare cent I had making copies page by page for hours and hours and hours. And, you'd park your horse outside the school library and then go in and, I'd walk out with a 3-foot stack of papers and try to sift through them all. And, now to your point, then you had to search for something. So you already had a question or, an area that you were pursuing where, now people are just flooded with information.